Hey guys, what's up? It's Patricia Zars here with Gary's Pool and Patio. I'm coming back to you today with Joe Garcia from Lyon Financial. How are you today, Joe?
I'm doing fabulous. How you doing?
I'm doing good. Can't complain. Swim season is here, and this time of the year, everyone's got one question, and that usually is, how quick can I get my pool? But the second question that comes up after that is, what options are there out there for financing? And
Mm.
Joe's going to go over some more of that with us again today. And I think, Joe, today, when we talk with customers about swimming pools, the things that tend to come up when it comes to their financing is the interest rate. And then, of course, more importantly, that payment. And I think most importantly, the payment. So I want to kind of go into what we see right now with interest rates on the unsecured loans, and then also kind of how it affects payment and their overall bottom line for what they've got budgeted to spend each month on a pool.
No, and you're exactly right, Patricia. The top of mind for the customer is not just the cost of the project, but the monthly payment, and then tied to that is the rate, which impacts the payment. And I can tell you this: over the last year, the rates have kind of stayed flat. Right now, what we're seeing is as low as 6.99, which is great. The difference between us and others, meaning us, Line Financial, is we have a wider threshold for that lower rate. We look at the credit profile versus the actual credit score, which others do. On top of that, our rate is available across the footprint versus just certain sections of the footprint. So I think that helps out a lot too with the customers. And when you look at that monthly low rate, it does impact the monthly payment. And that's one thing we have to remember is in today's environment, we're focused on the big dollar amount, but when you focus on a monthly payment, you customers realize that, hey, I can probably actually afford this.
Hmm.
My lifestyle's going to change a little bit with the pool. And I might not be doing certain things that maybe cost me more money because of the pool. Well, then just go ahead and move that money that was in that category over to the pool. And we soon realize, oh, well, it's not that much more I'm paying per month on the pool.
Right. I
So
think that's one thing people don't always look at is
mm,
they get this amount for what the pool payment is going to be, and they don't factor in the fact that they're going to be spending a lot more time at home, and they're going to be spending a lot less time out spending money on other things. So I think analyzing what the net effect is to the bottom line, they're going to realize that that payment is not actually what it appears to be just by that dollar amount.
and you're right. It's they don't analyze, and I think that's a great description for this. If we take the time to analyze this project and what we're doing, also analyze the other small things that are going to apply. For example, the going out to eat, or maybe less haircuts a month, or maybe this, we can make it work. And it's better to do it today because the rates really are not going to change that much over the next year or so. That's the forecast we're seeing. If it's a quarter point, that's about 3 or 4 or 5, maybe $10 a month difference. But what's guaranteed is going to change is the inflation.
Right.
And
Yeah.
that inflation outpaces the savings of maybe a quarter point on the rate. So buy today because you can not only buy the pool, but if you need that extra landscaping or that extra maybe the spa next to whatever that is, buy today because it's going to be cheaper for you on a monthly basis today versus waiting even 6 months or even
Right.
a year because of the inflation.
Yeah, I think people they'll sit and wait, thinking that they wait for interest rates to come down some, and the payment's going to be affected greatly by that. Whereas what happens is the price of the pool almost always goes up. And if they don't believe that, you can look back to see what pool prices were several years ago and where they are now. They're not going back down. The price of the pool is not going to go down,
Mm-mm.
but interest rates, they'll fluctuate up and down,
Yep.
but it's minute and it doesn't change the payment a whole lot. Whereas if all of a sudden you wait even 6 months or a year, like you said, and then all of a sudden they're going to see an increase in the payment, even though the interest rate went down. So people don't always factor that in.
You're exactly right.
Okay, so when someone's looking at one of these unsecured loans, what types of terms are they able to get? Like how many years can you finance a swimming pool for?
You know what? Great question. For us, Line Financial, to 30 years. That's 10 more than anybody else, 10 more than a bank, 10 more than any of our competitors out there. And all that means and translates to is a lower monthly payment.
Mhm.
So, the question before was around rates. And the way that we've come back to counter some of that concern is we've added 10 more years to our terms. So when you do that, lower monthly payment, now get this, Patricia, the average loan it's paid in full. regardless if it's a 5 year or 30-year term, within 6 years.
Wow.
So customers tend to pay these off first. So they're getting a better rate most of the time. They're getting a longer term,
Securing a lower
which
payment. Yeah.
there you go, and then they're paying it off early. So
Yep.
because of no prepayment penalties, but the average loan is paid off in 6 years. But when you do that 30-year term, you shrink down your monthly payment, which is what we all can, the customers can benefit from.
Absolutely. So let's give the customers out there an idea of what we're seeing as far as payments. They may have no idea where a payment would fall
Mhm.
if they finance a pool. So if you're looking at pool prices today, yes, we have a few options that are down at 39, 49 if you're
Mhm.
looking at some of the plunge pools. But most of the swimming pools, when you're starting with your smaller pools right now, are starting in, say, the mid 50s, and then you go up from there. So we see anywhere from your mid 50s all the way up into 100, 120, kind of on the higher end for what you're seeing right now. What are we looking at for payments on that kind of stuff?
Okay, so when we go as low as, let's say a pool costs around 55,000, 55, $60,000, um, monthly payment probably around anywhere between 425 on up, depending obviously the credit score, which is drives the rate and the payment. So when you're talking about 425, 450, the customer's thinking, really, that's it? Yeah, well, think about this, Patricia. Let's say it's 450. You're talking about $110 a month, a week, 110 a week. Divided by X amount of days, you're probably talking about no more than $15 to $20 a day.
Hmm.
That's really a Starbucks and maybe a Happy Meal together.
Yes.
And when you think about it that way, well, you know what? I can do that. I can do without a Starbucks and a McDonald's for a pool to enjoy during the summer, and especially out in San Antonio where it kind of gets a little bit of warm out there in the summer.
Just a
Do it.
bit. Our
Yeah.
our actual swim season here is typically, from about this time of year, which we're getting ready to, well into spring, not even into summer yet. It's already getting warm enough for that. And then all the way into October. But we're putting heat chill pumps on our pools
There you
now,
go.
right? So swim season is all year long. So you're getting to enjoy that pool all year long. And all you might have to do is cut back a little bit on some of that extra spending, whether it's like a Starbucks, like you said, and a meal out each week, and you
Well,
can have a pool.
I tell you this, for my friends out in San Antonio or even in Texas, that's a Whataburger meal or five tacos and a drink. You cut that back on a daily basis, you're going to get yourself a pool for the whole year that you and your family can enjoy on a consistent basis.
Yeah, and this is something that lifelong memories are made of. Okay, so that extra time with your family, that extra time with your friends, the relaxation that you can get from it. Pools are really good for your physical and your mental health. So you kind of can't put a price tag on that.
No, and you're exactly right. And think about this. Those families out there that have kids in middle school, how many years left before they go to college? Buy it now today to spend the next 4, 5, 6 years with them. The ones that are already in high school, you have 3 years left after this year. Buy a pool today and spend the time with them because I can tell you, regardless of what age group they're in, they got friends. And there's nothing better than having them at your house with a pool, maybe instead of somewhere else. So today is the time to buy.
Yeah, so I think really good information today, Joe. Customers are very payment focused right now, as they should be. You look at the big picture of the actual total price of the pool project versus what the payment is. People often don't realize how little the payment changes, with the price of the pool. And so, even a $10,000 change in the price will have customers who are very price conscious and they'll be so concerned about the bottom dollar of the price of the pool when all of a sudden, if you look at the payment and how it's affected by just, getting those things that they actually do want in the pool, often it doesn't change that much, and it's worth it to just jump right in and get everything that you want.
Well,
But
and,
yeah,
and Patricia, you just nailed it. When you're talking about a $10,000 difference between maybe getting a 30 by 15 versus a 35 by 20, $10,000 difference is about $20 a week,
mm,
which is about, $3 to $4 a day
yep,
difference. That's all it is.
yep,
They look at the big number, but don't realize $20, that's it. Yeah, it's only $20 difference a week. That's nothing.
hmm,
You know, get what you want today versus waiting because it's going to cost you maybe $30 more, $40 more in a couple of years. So get it today.
yep. Couldn't have said it better myself. Thanks so much for the great info today, Joe, as always. And I'll see you on the next video.
Talk to you soon.
Bye.